Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We have an absolutely legendary mega coaster for you here today. We're going to keep this intro short and sweet, diving right on into it with this episode of Coaster Spotlight, created by the one and only KombatWombat, and that is Sector 16 Industrial Mega Coaster. And here they say, there are many factories in industrial zones dotted around Neo-Tokyo, none as massive as Sector 16. Built into the sides of a gigantic canyon, the smokestacks are like skyscrapers towering into the sky, while the forges, refineries, factories, and huge networks of tunnel and piping bury deep into the cliffs and below the ground. Located on the outskirts of the city, approximately 1,200 kilometers from the city center, the ground around the canyon is horribly polluted. Pools of toxic waste and molten slag dot the land, and everywhere there is trash. The fumes are toxic to breathe without protection, and the noise is deafening. Most of the work is carried out by robots who work tirelessly around the factories and tunnels. Everything is built and controlled by a central AI that has one single goal: to increase productivity. TMTK by Fua, Mango, and Double A. Music by Necto, Ulin. Subscribe for awesome music, and I'll have a link for that in the description below for their music. Let's get into it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are at the coaster track here. You can take a look at all of the incredible ride stats. This is an absolute legend in KombatWombat, always delivering on these exploration mega coasters with 7,000 meters in track length, a 300-second duration long coaster, and it travels at max speeds of 110 miles per hour, with the biggest drop being 96 meters. We have 22 airtime counts, 15 seconds of total airtime, and 18 inversions on this bad boy here today. This is going to be one to remember, so buckle up and let's get right to it. The last thing I want to mention is there is a custom audio which I don't have. I'm going to add it in post in case there's a problem, and I just want to verify that I am actually able to use this music or not. So if it sounds differently, I use different music, but let's just hope I can add that in without any issues. So let's get right to it, shall we? googly moogly. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what Coaster Spotlight is all about. I'm gonna have to give this a rewrite in post once I've added the music in. Just gotta make sure that I have absolute permission to use said music before I go ahead and do so. So I'm hoping for your guys' end, your experience was a little bit better than mine having that audio in there, or whatever audio ends up getting in there. But we cannot deny how incredible the coaster experience is with or without the audio. And like I said, this is what Coaster Spotlight is all about. Good googly moogly. This is insanity. The amount of visuals that this coaster takes us through. This is absolutely a KombatWombat creation in and of its fullest. My goodness, that giant scorpion. Now, the backstory there that I gave in the introduction about Neo Tokyo, and this is kind of like the outskirt industrial area of said theme park, actually has a little bit of a backstory there, because Neo Tokyo is one of the last parks that we featured from KombatWombat, which I'll try to put a link in the description below so you can go watch the park spotlight for that. Because if you thought this was crazy, he's done an entire park spotlight with multiple rides, shops, facilities, the whole work. It's a theme park done to this level of detail, and I like the fact that this kind of ties back into it, doing a little bit more world building and lore, tying it together almost as a series of sorts, which is really freaking cool. Because yeah, we are limited to a certain map size, but as we've seen from now Kombat as well as Galcian in the past, these creators kind of tying their maps and their projects together, sewing them together in sections through video series and whatnot. It's just a really fun, innovative way to create basically, yeah, a series and lore for your ongoing projects. It's really fun. I love the whole concept there, and this definitely has that industrial sector vibes of the Neo Tokyo that we previously saw, which is absolutely phenomenal. Wow. What do you even say? Oh my goodness, looking at those stats again, 7,000 meters in track length, interwoven through hundreds of thousands, if it appears to be pieces, but that might just be a perception thing, because a lot of these are sci-fi pieces. As you can see, this little cylinder thing here, this smokestack, is made out of only 5 pieces. So the sci-fi pieces really allow you to build in bulk, build monstrous creations. So for anyone thinking about doing something as wild and crazy as this in the future, be sure to open up this file. Links will be in the descriptions below. You can give this a download for yourself, open it up, pick it apart, and see how does he make a giant scorpion out of only 200 pieces. And that is because he's using the sci-fi pieces. Definitely a good asset, a good tool to help you flesh out an area, to block out an area, to gray block an area, but to get a really cool detailed scene with fewer parts in terms of making it perform well, making it look visually amazing, and not having to painstakingly build every little minutia piece by piece out of all the smaller stuff that the game has to offer. So sci-fi is definitely a good approach if you're wanting to go big and go bad, and that is what Kombat is so known for. He's been around the channel since the very early stages, since the first dozen or so episodes, I want to say. Definitely featured multiple times in the first 100 episodes of Coaster Spotlight, and here we are. This has got to be episode 1008 or something, which is still freaking crazy to say that I can't believe I've made 1,000 of these. And here we are 1,000 episodes later, and Kombat is still giving us that wow factor, still playing the game, still producing. So give it up for KombatWombat in the comments, you guys. Love to see this creator still building, still giving us those wow moments. So be sure to leave some wonderful positive comments for Kombat down below. What did you think of their absolutely insane mega coaster? Fire away down in the comments below. I absolutely loved it. Love to see Kombat creations every single time, and that's why it's getting a feature here today. Boom, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys all for watching. Really appreciate you. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and we'll see you in the next episode of Coaster Spotlight. Bye now.